Welcome back, poker friends. Mr. Unlucky here. This is day 7 of our $0 to $100 online poker challenge. And since it's day 7 and we're on global poker, we're going to come over here to our Get Coins button. And they are nice enough to give us one big fat dollar today. So that is, we got a free entry into some gold coin garbage tournament too. So that will help out as we try to build our bankroll. And so we took our daily bonus today. That took us back up to 823. You can see we had a tournament registration, lost that one, no cash, another one, no cash, another one, no cash. So we've been existing on the daily bonuses for a couple of days now. The last time that we had a tournament payout was a few days back, and that was for 90 cents off of a 25-cent buy-in. So with our stagnating stagnating bankroll, we're going to need a cash and preferably a win here soon. So I am really going to try to up my game on this one for you. We'll be back as soon as the game starts. Hang in there. And away we go. This is a 9-handed sit and go. Blinds 15-30. They go up every 5 minutes. And let's see what we got going on today. Not going to be getting too tricky with this one. This is an easy fold, especially to a $150 bet. Not going to defend. We'll let that go. All right. First hand of the game, we got ace-queen versus ace-10. Both gentlemen kind of overplaying their top pair, or ladies, and we've got somebody out on the first hand. Classic sit-and-go mistake. You don't want to commit that many chips because you only get paid for the top 3 in this event. So we're going to call with our suited ace. And we hit bottom pair, and let's see what happens. We're checking around. I expect a bet from the duck over here because, well, looks like Fallen Angel might have hit something. Let's see what happens. No help with the deuce. Little value bet, it looks like, out of position. I'm guessing king. All right, here we are on the button with the deuce 3 suited. This is just magic in a cash game. If you want a lot of money playing this type of hand in a cash game on the button, you know exactly where you stand after the flop, and if you raise with it and hit it, especially if someone hits a piece, you're getting paid off. But at this point in a sit and go, it's worthless to me. Some of you might take a 30 chip flop there just to see if you hit. I like to conserve as many chips as possible, especially in the first 1 or 2 blind structures. Generally, you get multiple players to the flop, and it's just like trying to dodge a landmine. All right. Quick fold. We have Jack 6. I'm going to fold here, and we can skip ahead to something a little more exciting. All right, blinds are up to 30-60. We folded a bunch of garbage hands. Here's Ace-Jack, first position. A lot of times I'm just going to let this go. I'm going to see if we can see a cheap flop. I don't see a whole lot of value in Ace-Jack in a situation like this. In first position, a lot of people will tell you to raise here. If you get re-raised, you're out of position the entire rest of the hand. I'd probably ace queen suited, ace king, definitely open up, I think, for a raise, but even if we raise to 180, we're probably still going to get 3 or 4 callers. And now we've just flopped a gut shot straight draw. A 10 will give us a straight. There is a club flush draw on the board, so hopefully we get to see a free card. I don't think we will, but we're certainly not going to take a stab at this with ace jack in this spot. Go ahead and check, see what happens. That doesn't really change much or do anything. This is interesting. I'm going to make an extremely loose call here. I don't necessarily recommend this. I'd love to peel off a 10 of spades. Other than that, I don't feel like we have the best hand, but certainly we're getting decent pot odds now, especially since the 2 behind us called. In a cash game, I would have called there probably all day. This is a definite toss-up and a complete whiff. Ace high is not going to be good enough to take this down against 4 other people, so we'll just check it through. There's your value bet. I want to see what we get turned over here. Well, we're not going to see it. That's unfortunate. I'm going to assume probably 2 pair, maybe a straight, and we'll let that one go. On to the big blind. And the last hand at this blind level. Blinds are going up in about 20 seconds. A free flop would be nice with 4-8, since it's pretty much worthless unless we flop trips. We did not, and this will end up being a fold as well. Let's move on to the small blind. Small blind's another very bad hand. Jack 6 offsuit. I probably won't even complete this bet unless somebody else comes in. Certainly not going to call a raise with it. That's gone. Would have flopped top pair. Got a well overpowered continuation bet. And king queen on the button. We are most likely going to play this. Certainly not for all our chips, but I would ordinarily call a small raise with king queen on the button. And I'm certainly going to. No, we're just going to call here. It's not worthy of re-raise. Not the flop we were looking for, but no reason to believe that anyone else connected well with that. If you remember, Potentito raised to 200. Very well might have an ace. Fallen Angel taking a lot of time to figure out what they want to do. No follow-up bet out of Potentito, which is odd. I don't have a lot of chips, but I am going to take a stab here. I feel like the other 2 players are very weak, and if they prove me wrong by going all in, I'll fold and leave myself enough to fight again. Uh-oh.
Bad judgment.
Yeah, that's not where we want to be. That was an expensive lesson learned. And now with 660 chips, blinds being 50 and 100, we will be looking for an all-in double up to get ourselves back on track. My friend Antonio Esfandiari once said that this is a very tough game if you don't hit flops. And that is true. Jack 5, really no business being in that hand, but the argument would be, well, they were suited. Pocket aces just busted by King 5. Playing King 5. No reason to play King 5 over there. That's how it works. Pocket aces against multiple players definitely doesn't have as much value heads up, even still. Pocket aces versus King 5, I think the King 5 is going to win that about 18% of the time. I'm sure that's not completely right, so if you know the exact odds, pop it in the comments below. I don't have my odds calculator in front of me at the moment. But yeah, if you were watching, I think episode 4, previous episode, my aces got cracked as well. But in a pretty similar situation. I think it was this hand. As a matter of fact, my opponent had King 8 of spades, and I had pocket aces, and they made a very loose call to my re-raise. One other player in, and they drew out a flush. So, such is poker. Wow. Instead of punishing the short stack, they let me walk. Now we have ace 10, and I will tell you, if it folds around on us, we'll 100% be pushing all in here. Oh, man. This is a tough spot. I don't mind pushing with ace 10, but calling with ace 10 here. 660 blinds. This is almost certainly a straight gamble. Most likely up against a smaller pair or a bigger ace. This is the part of poker that's such a judgment call. Blinds are still 150. I'm going to get away from this. And I got a better hand to push with now, and I will be calling any bet with the ace-queen suited. It is a top 10 hand. And let's see if we can get it to push through or hold up if we get a call. Fallen Angel's got a lot of chips. That's an easy call, I think, for him if he's got anything decent. Oh boy. Nope. He flopped okay. Little trouble. And they made their straight. There's some online poker for you. Mr. Unlucky gets unlucky. All right. Stay tuned for part 2. All right, poker friends. Thanks for coming back. This is game 2 of today's video. I've gone completely off book here and went up a level when I should be going down a level, but I didn't feel like waiting around too long, so I took a $1.10 buy-in here. This is the Rockford Turbo on Global Poker. It's a 6-handed game, and we have been actually having better luck with 6-handed games than with the 9-handed games. They do tend to, for some reason, they do tend to be a little bit tighter than the 9-handed games, and obviously there's a little less variance going up against 6 players versus 9, but they only pay 2 spots. So this is still a 5-minute turbo. Blinds start at 1530. We start with 1,500 chips. And let's see if we can make some of our money back. I'm going to flip over to the other screen just so you can see the payouts. $1.10 first place gets you $3.90, so that would be a nice little bankroll booster. Second place, $2.10. So basically, you almost double your money and you almost quadruple your money here. And we're looking to hopefully finish the day with at least over $10 if we can. We've been running a little bit bad, and I've been making some questionable calls. I normally play super tight early on in a 9-handed game, and you can see why, because if you're not playing tight, you either are relying on getting incredibly lucky, or you're giving away chips that you don't want to be giving away. So he's deuce, ace 9, 6-handed game. Can't really fault either of them for playing that. And they ended up chopping it. So here we have 10 3 offsuit in the big blind. Complete garbage. I would almost want a raise here. No, it's a min raise. Unfortunately, for those kind of prices, I got to see a flop, and we've got right now we've got the third nut flush draw. The spade comes out. The only thing that beats us is a king of spades or the queen of spades. How we picked up a straight draw as well. I'm going to put out a little pot builder bet here. Hopefully everybody just folds and I don't have to hit my hand. And of course, if we get raised, we're probably going to go away. This was the pre-flop raiser, but he was on the button, and it was a weak raise, so there's a good chance he has a weak ace that he knows is no good. And now we have the third nuts. And I'm just going to call here on the err on the side of caution. We could be up against king or queen of spades. And we're not. All right, so that worked out well. So here's a trivia question for everybody, and it's a little bit off because I don't have suited cards. But what hand heads up has the best odds against pocket aces? And if you think pocket kings, that's actually not correct. The answer is 10-9 suited. It's actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's 22.6%, which are the best odds. That's aces versus 10-9 suited, straight up, two players. That's it. Those are your best odds to crack aces. So there you go. If you're getting 4-1 pot odds or better, aces versus your 10-9, you're not in a bad spot. We flopped air. We turned third pair. So puts the flush out there. So I doubt I will be betting. Yeah. Yeah, my guess is we can take this down with a value bet bluff on the turn. If somebody has a big ace and they want a big spade and they want to hang out for one more card. In which case we're ahead. Going into the river anyway. There we go, the power of position. Alright. 6-9 suited. We're going to go away. We'll be back when we see something better. All right, we skipped ahead a little bit. Here we are with ace-8 in the big blind. Just got raised in position. This is a push or fold opportunity. Still have 1,200 chips. I'm going to fold. It's a very, very tight fold, but again, we're still 3 spots away from being in the money. We want to be tight. I'm not going to try to lose any more chips with the deuce-4 offsuit, so let's go ahead and get rid of that. I must admit, if I don't cash in this tournament, I will be dropping back down to 25-cent six-handed games. Here's pocket threes on the button. This is a real interesting situation. We've got a raise here. I'm not going to... Best case scenario, it's a coin flip. Even if he has Jack 10. Worst case scenario, I'm dominated by an overpair. So let's wait and see how that works out. All right, we would have had a pair of threes. Three nine offsuit is trash. Blinds are going up next hand, and we will be at 100, 200, so this should start some quick movement. Here we go. It is 3. Yep. That's a lucky little double up for CB. All right, 100, 200 blinds. Now the game kind of gets going. We're in 5th position out of 5. We need to make it to at least 2 to get a little money. Good to know that ZZ will fold the big blind. King 7 isn't the worst big blind hand, but to a raise, it's not a lot of fun. Hopefully we get a walk here, or a free flop. Let's see what we got. And we hit top pair, so we'll be betting. And I don't really want to mess around. It's a kind of a wet board with the spades and the king queen, and that's a win. At this stage of the game, I'm not investing a single chip in 3-7 offsuit, so this can go away. One of the things you want to be careful of online is people who sit out. I don't feel like this is intentional, but sometimes people do sit out, and in this case, Global's nice enough to tell us that they're sitting out because we got the sleep Z's cascading up from his avatar. But people will often sit out and then jump back in once they get a good hand, and you've already raised with potentially not so good a hand, but you think, well, they're sitting out, so I can get some free blinds, and then they jump back on and skunk you. And, it's not a great practice. It's a little bit of shade, but it does happen. So, okay, got an all in and a consideration. The board is already paired. Straight draw, flush draw, lots of possibilities. Probably a good fold there in that spot. We have queen 3. Not really strong enough, and we're not in a dire enough spot to have to push with that, so good luck to ZZ, who min raises. So probably would advocate for an all in there. If they've got a monster like aces and they want action on it, so be it, but in most cases, a min raise like that could let multiple players in, and then the value of your big hand kind of dries up a bit. And if you don't have a big pair, you're probably not more than a 65 to 35% favorite at best. So here goes the money. Ace 10 suited. We got blinds coming around. We got to pay for. Traditionally, do not have good luck with Ace 10. They usually get called by a weak ace, and they usually end up spiking on me. In this case, it wasn't an issue. Followed up by this charming little deuce 6, which is not playable unless it's unraised. Just as soon get rid of it, even though I'll use the 200. So this is why I don't recommend limping at this stage of the tournament. So you limp with a potentially marginal hand like ace 8 suited, and then get pushed all in. Either fold it in early position or push all in with it. And there we go, number 4. So this is an all-in or fold situation in my mind. I'm not going to risk it with king 6, especially since I'm out chipped. 6-3, super easy fold. So what would be ideal is if we could take out the short stack and build our chip stack. Because if one of these takes them out, then I'm up against 2 pretty significant stacks, and I'll have to double up quickly. Which we're not going to do that with a 6-9. ZZ's on life support here. Barely enough to induce much of anything. Certainly you're not going to get full equity out of that little bit left. You're getting called. Now we're going to be sitting with them in the small blind while we're the big blind, and we're probably going to have to call with any two cards on the next hand unless one of these folks raises. And we would have made a flush. That happens sometimes. King high. No, pocket threes. Pair of threes. Take me down. Oh boy, this is not what I want to be calling all ins with. Just get it in now. There's a chance that she'll. Yeah, there we go. That's just a horrible play. She needs to be pushing there 100% of the time, I think, with any two cards. Try to induce me to fold. And I say she because of the avatar. I'm not sure what we're looking at. Oh boy. This is a definite. I know Dan Harrington would tell me to push in here. Grab your junk and put it all in, especially if you get an ace in that spot. But I want to get a little closer to the money before I start pushing with these three offsuit in this stage. Jack 4 versus 4s, and you would have made some good money there. That's a bummer. However, they're very advantageous because if you knocked this individual out, they are all in here with nothing. We could back our way into the money just by being patient. 8-6. We need 8 or 6 here. Nope. Jack's going to hold up. Okay. We've got a little bit of work to do. Try and get second place. I got a call with anything from 1, 5, 6. Well, you gotta. No, you're done. Okay. Tough spot. These two will be going all in now. I don't have enough to mess around with. Hopefully the ace high will hold up. Not happy about that. We really need an ace here. Nope. Yeah, 7 takes it. Okay. And once again, we finish on the bubble. All right, folks, that's it. We're going to be dropping down a limit for the next video. If you would subscribe, like, and definitely comment. I would love to hear your thoughts on how I played some of these hands and what you would do. And we'll see you next time.